Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So let's talk about Filip Miucin again, because this guy has really some issues. He doesn't know how to get over things. He didn't know how to apologize in the first place when he plagiarized Boomstick Gaming's review of Dead Cells. He at a later date made a review of something else, like an accessory for the Nintendo Switch if I remember well, and people were just not really happy with him. The dislike ratio was huge, and now he's back with a review of a game, and it's really very interesting, the choice of the game. Dead Cells review is the review that he plagiarized back in 2018, and now he's just like adding more fuel to the fire, releasing another video of another review of the very same game, calling it a very honest and original Dead Cells review. To be completely honest, I didn't watch the Dead Cells review that Filip Miucin made. I'm not going to question the credibility of this very review, but I think it was a mistake to do a review of this game because it just made people more remember what you have done, as if they have forgotten anyway. And because he made this review and tweeted it, just to promote his channel, because he thinks he needs a second chance. I'm not here to judge whether he needs it or not, because there are a lot of problems in there. Ryan McCaffrey, the blue check mark, who is the executive editor of reviews or previews at IGN, just told Filip Miucin to F off. I think because McCaffrey believes that Miucin tarnished the reputation of IGN, and here is where my issue comes with IGN. IGN is this very big website. We have already read stories about some editors who no longer work there, who were super abusive to their employees, and they didn't treat them well. They made them work a lot, and there were false promises. The people who worked a lot at IGN were hoping to become editors at one point, but they couldn't because those abusive people work there. Probably the work environment has changed to some extent in IGN, but the amount of reviews and articles IGN pulls every day is just very high, and that very clearly means that the people who work at IGN have to work a lot. So I'm not defending Filip Miucin here, but I believe the work environment in IGN is not really that good. It puts so much pressure on employees to the extent that some of them just resort to plagiarism, just like Miucin did. And again, plagiarism is plagiarism. There is no excuse for it, but IGN is trash in my opinion. And there is also the very recent incident that IGN Brazil has stolen Baby Zone's videos that he produces with deepfake technology. They put their watermark in it, even though the Baby Zone watermark was there, and they profited of the videos, and they just said, oh, we're sorry, just like we're sorry we got caught. We're not going to do this again. And they didn't offer any kind of financial compensation for Baby Zone because they stole his content and they profited from it. There was no compensation at all. And I have seen a video of someone else saying that IGN Brazil is not the same as mainline IGN, and I say no, totally no, because they have the name IGN, which means that IGN, that they call mainline IGN, has just sold them quote-unquote the rights to use the brand IGN, or are working with them in some capacity. So it's still IGN. IGN is trash. It has this very bad toxic environment in the workplace. In the past, it pushes its employees to work very, very hard, probably more than they could handle, just to provide a lot of reviews and articles every single day, and that has its toll on the mental health of its employees. And coming back to Filip Miucin, he replied to this McCaffrey being told to F off by an executive of one of the worst well-known entertainment companies. I can't agree more. It's one of the worst. Not to mention a former direct superior can only happen in the gaming community. No, at Ryan, you can't delete your indecency just like I can't delete my plagiarism. I think that's totally fair here. These people at IGN don't have any right whatsoever just to call off Filip Miucin because he plagiarized, and to virtue signal at themselves, because I think both Miucin and IGN made mistakes. I think even IGN is worse because it's a bigger company, and we have, as I said, recent evidence that they stole someone else's work. And to come back to Filip Miucin, and what I think he should have done is just forget about Dead Cells. You did the mistake. You can't really go back in time and change things. You handled the situation very poorly, especially at the beginning. You didn't apologize, and you even denied the plagiarism, but after that you got caught and exposed. So what you should have done is probably work hard and hard and hard, maybe 2 years or 3 years from now, with a lot of good content that is original and genuine, in which there is a lot of effort. Probably people would say, yeah, this guy did a really big mistake back then, and maybe he just learned from his mistakes. And we probably are going to give them another chance, even though the internet is notorious for just hunting down people who make mistakes and not giving them second chances at all. But that's the internet for you. And I think if he wants really to do something, it's going to be a lot harder. And he's going to deal with abuse, he's going to deal with hateful comments, he's going to deal with fair criticism, and he's going to deal with a lot of negativity, a lot more than positivity. And if I were him, I would probably, if I wanted to keep on this reviewing games thing, I would have just shut my mouth, do my work, let my actions speak louder than my mouth, and not engage in things like Twitter conversations, because they have proven to be totally toxic, and because those blue check marks will just take every single opportunity to virtue signal themselves and to try to take you down. But if you keep your mouth shut, it's going to be easier for you, especially that we have discovered true colors of IGN. Not that they weren't trash in the past, but it's like clearer and clearer. They can't really go away from it. Review shilling for games, bad notoriety for stealing other people's work and claiming that it's theirs. I mean, even those trash websites that you know out there and that we pretty much don't like at all, like Kotaku or the absolute trash VG247 or others, even those, they don't really plagiarize. At least we don't have any evidence of it. Even if they make some trash statements, and even if they try to instill some kind of ideas or identity politics or whatever the case may be, they still do their homework, like they review a game, or probably they just outright lie about it and they just use their words in a way, shape or form, and they don't steal. But in IGN, stealing is kinda the norm. They don't even take proper measures to stop that kind of plagiarism from happening again. So yeah, Filip Miucin, I think your problem is that you don't know how to move on, and you don't know how to keep your mouth shut, because your actions and only your actions will prove that you have learned the lesson. And every time you just try to engage with these people and you try to defend yourself, people will come after you because you made a very grave mistake. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more. And who do you think is at fault here? Do you think it's Filip Miucin only? Or do you think it's Filip Miucin and IGN? Leave your comments and I will talk to you again soon. Have a good one.